16th and 17th in a European final. The worst Premier League teams still alive, competing to reverse their terrible seasons with the Europa League. Will Tottenham win their first trophy in 18 years? Or will Manchester United add another trophy to their already stacked up cabinet? Let's talk about the Europa League Final and why it just might be the craziest game of 2025.
Man United versus the shameless Spurs.
Let me correct you. It is Tottenham versus Manchester United. We are the home team.
Let me correct you again.
Go on.
It's 16th versus 17th.
Before we talk about who will win the final, we have to discuss the journey of struggle both teams have faced to even get to the final. The biggest team in England, Manchester United, hasn't seen a Premier League trophy since 2013. Right now they're sitting on 39 points, right above their neighbors Tottenham. They sacked their manager Ten Hag earlier this season and have been dealing with a living hell with Ruben Amorim. In the last 6 months, they've only gotten somehow 4 Premier League wins, with some of the easiest fixtures known to man. They give the biggest teams like Arsenal and Liverpool a great game, but when it comes to Wolves at home or West Ham at Old Trafford, they drown. You could pretty much say the same thing about Tottenham, but they just give out free wins like it's candy. They lose to anyone and just can't buy a win. But at this stage of the season, no one cares if Tottenham goes from 20 to 22 losses. This trophy is everything for them. Amorim has stated many times that he's focused on Premier League games and long-term improvement.
To be honest with you, I'm not concerned about the final. It's by far the smallest problem in our club. We need to change something that is deeper than this. And if we are showing that in the end of this season that we are not playing Premier League and Champions League for us is the moon. So we need to know that. And so I'm not concerned about the final.
But Tottenham manager Ange Postecoglou knows that if he wants to stay at the club, he must follow his word and win a trophy in his second season.
Just lie or just say it never happened. But no, it's confusing to me that people are making a big deal out of something. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to answer something that is true. Like, if I don't win it in the second year this year and I come out next year and say, well, I always win it. Well, no, actually, it's not true. But
in the Europa League competition, the two teams haven't looked the greatest, but United have been picking up crazy momentum recently. They come back from one of the greatest comebacks in their history against Lyon, winning the game when they were dead. They also just beat the favorites of this entire competition, Athletic Club, after a 7-1 spanking over the 2 legs. Tottenham, however, have just barely won games even in this cup. In the league stage, they were good for Tottenham standards, which doesn't really mean much. Then on to the knockout games. They just about got the job done against AZ Alkmaar and looked pretty good against Frankfurt over the 2 legs. They also put on 180 minutes of pure entertainment against Bodo Glimt to even reach the final. Both teams have great X-Factor players that can get them over the line. United got Bruno, whose back must hurt from all the carrying he's done. Casemiro, who was told last season that he should be watching instead of playing games, has popped up out of nowhere. And Maguire, the best center-back winger in the world. They also have the upper hand based off of Tottenham's injuries and key players like Maddison and Lucas Bergvall, who are most certainly out for the season. Tottenham aren't looking bad though because they have been the kings of Manchester since the start of the season, dominating both clubs and winning all 3 games against United. They have a pretty good squad with players we can expect to play the final, like Solanke, who's been scoring for fun in the Europa League, Brennan Johnson, their top scorer, Kulusevski, the most glazed Prem midfielder, with a great midfield and defense in Udogie, Van de Ven, Romero, Porro, Betancourt, and Basuma. They also have Vicario, who actually knows how to prevent goals. I'm looking at you, Onana. The tactics we can expect from both teams aren't too far off, but they do have their differences. United like to set themselves up in a 3-back formation which operates into an aggressive attack when on a break or counter, as Mazraoui and Dorgu help the wingers by pushing up forward in their attack and beating their man. This is great at preventing breaks, as you already have 3 center backs and defensive midfields in Ugarte and Casemiro. They also have an incredible bench with an adaptive manager in Amorim, who can find a way to get his team back in the game when they're struggling. Tottenham also play a fun, free-flowing brand of football just like United, but in contrast, operate in a 4-back unlike United. They operate in a mainly attack 4-3-3 formation, which swaps the 4-2-3-1 with positional rotation when needed. He seeks his players to press aggressively against the opponent and give them little to no breathing room. They easily swap when they have the ball by using number advantage tactics, and even the goalkeeper plays a crucial role in build-up as he works as a third center back, allowing Udogie and Pedro Porro to help the wingers in attack. As we've spoken about the differences in both teams' season and similarity in style of play, we also have to touch on what's at stake for both clubs. They're trying to save a terrible season, and Ange is trying to save his job, which is threading by a needle at this point. There is extreme pressure on both clubs, especially Tottenham, as this is do or die for them. United sees this as another trophy, but this is everything for Tottenham. We can expect a close game, but I expect Tottenham just to get over the line. I think the game would end 3-2 to Tottenham, could go to extra time, but with no chance of going to penalties. Throughout this season, Tottenham have shown their dominance over the worst United side in history. As far as who I think will score, I think Solanke will score, as well as Udogie and Son winning the title for Tottenham. Man, that's enough to make a grown man cry. Let me know what you think down in the comments, as well as score predictions. Let's hope I get it right, and let's see if you can get it right too. If you like this video, like, subscribe, and check out this other one right here.